right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles, elders, a great millstone, and Shalom to the elect. What you just witnessed was a was what things are leading up to, or what we're leading up to, which is the mark of the beast. Which is the RFID and implantable microchip that is spoken about in Revelations, the 13th chapter. Um, Now, what was just seen was a product that I'm not sure what company is actually selling it, or if it's even on the market yet. More than likely, it is on the market. Um, and it's just basically giving you being able to, access, or do, do your daily routine, um, you know, and having it to be convenient, you know. And what you saw was everything was on the ring. The design was that you saw they to get on the train, whether it be paying for food, whatever type of transaction that was made, it can all be done from the that actual source or the actual ring, you know. And what exactly this is gradualism. Okay, so let's look at gradualism. This is gradualism in Wikipedia. It says from the Latin gratis, it means step. It says is a hypothesis, a theory, which it is not. Because as you can see, they've actually implemented these things. They're doing these things. And you want to know what? If you have the spiritual eye, so to speak, if the Lord has granted you the spiritual foresight, or the ability to diagnose or look at a situation and get the overall product, so to speak, you would be able to see that. And you would understand that this is not a hypothesis. This is not a theory. You know, this is something that as we look into life, like as we look, if we look back, like the so-called millennials of today, which I would be in that bracket, right? You look back over time and you look at the progression of technology up until this point, you know, you look at it, and the so-called the Internet of Things, and where we're headed, it's all headed to that one point. It's all headed to the point of getting the microchip, the radio frequency identification chip, which has already been implemented in certain places, you know, which is already on the market, you know. But now there is just steps like what you just saw with the ring for the mass amount of people to slowly but surely accept this stuff. They doing it with the phones, with the what you could the Apple Pay and other various forms of digital payment without actually using something tangible, like without using money, so to speak, or even a credit card, But even a credit card, is that's gradualism, man. It was building up to a certain point, you know, and that's what you can see. So it says a theory or a tenet, assuming that change comes about gradually, or that variation is gradual in nature and happens over time as opposed in large steps, and that's what we're seeing take place. Small increments of time and steps that's slowly been incorporating this into society, you know? And what's happening is people are going to gradually, believe and think like, like it's not a big deal, you know? It's not a big deal. So we're just going to do it. We just, it's convenient, you know? It's more safe, you know? When in an actuality, you've been fooled, you know? Because they already have the ability to hack within whatever digital device that you have. They have the ability to access that. There have been multiple whistleblowers on the things that they've been doing behind closed doors, and yet You do have some individuals that do come out with it, but the mass amount of people are ignorant to these things, or they do know and they just like, whatever, I don't care. You know, they have the ability to access, your location, the things that you're saying, what you're researching, and that's who's actually in control is Esau Edom. You know, Esau Edom. All right, the nation of people who are the border of wickedness. Who the Lord has this indignation with, forever. And you want to know what he wants to do, what he's trying to implement is he wants God like status. You understand? He wants to be the Most High. You know, that's his whole mission. He wants to paint himself as Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, being this force or being this power, but he's doing it, he's doing it in wickedness, you know, and ultimately you can't do that. Like you can't be where the Most High is, can't be where Yahweh Shai is. You understand? And they are the perfect example of just what not to do. So let me just get this Revelations 13, because this is going to be a prophecy when it takes, this is a major prophecy, and when it takes place, when it happens, a lot of other things are going to, when this happens, you better be looking up, because the Lord is about to be making his debut. You know, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. When the chip is start, when he calls it, well, let me just read it in Revelation 13:16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now you have people off the grid, you have people living in the mountains and wherever else. Now, if you are a part of this system, if you live in these communities, you work in your 9 to 5, or however, wherever in the pay grade that you're at, you know wherever you at, is like it goes into both rich and small. If you're a part of this system, if you're living in in these cities, and if you've been relying and doing things a certain way, as you just saw in that video, with the ring. If you've been living your life like that, you got credit cards, you got bank accounts, you've got a whole heap of things within the system. He's going to cause you to get that, because it's going to come a certain point in time where the economy is going to crash. You know, the economy is going to crash. I was reading an article, and you have top elite, like I believe it was Rothschild, one of the Rothschilds, and 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 I believe it was what's this guy's name, man? I forget this guy's name. The dude, I believe it was the guy who funded Black Lives Matter, but he, yeah. So these guys are investing in that technology. So so let me continue on. It says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, and that's what's going to take place. And listen, any business transaction, you're not going to be able to do it without the mark. And that's just facts, man. That's what's coming in gradualism. And listen, if you got the if the Lord is giving you the spiritual eye to be able to see that, your best bet is not to take that chip, because there's a judgment for taking that chip. You will be destroyed, man. You know. So with that, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone, shalom to the elect.